Alrighty, welcome back into the workshop. Today we are going to talk about chains on chainsaw. We have a particular one here. This is a Stihl MS-251. Nice little saw, 251s. I like them. A good little running saw. The customer has brought this to me and has said that for some reason the chain, they've adjusted it. It doesn't work right. It don't move like it's supposed to. So they said might need new bar. They don't really know what's going on with it. I've kind of looked it over a little bit, so I have a pretty good idea what's going on with it. So we're going to try to show you what they've done and what's not been done correctly. So we're going to go ahead and take this one apart and just kind of go over a couple of the chainsaw chain basics. So we'll take this apart and show you the first problem that we're going to have. Take the nut off of that, and we're going to set this off to the side. And the first thing I'm going to show you and realize is the problem here, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to tell this, but this is not good. Let's see if we can turn you down a little bit. You can look at this really quick and tell that the sprocket here, this chain is riding way outside of the sprocket. That should sit down into the sprocket. So what they've done, it looks like to me, this looks like a brand spanking new socket or sprocket on here. There's no teeth marks, anything in it, so I don't think that's a used one. So we're going to go ahead and pop that one off and show you what the difference is. And I see this quite a bit in the store where I'm at. We work on chainsaws and all. But your chain and your bar and your sprocket all have to match. And if you go into your store and you're going to buy a new chain or bar or a new sprocket, you got to make sure that one, the sprocket up here at the end of your bar also has to have the same teeth configuration as the one that's on your chainsaw. So if you've got a 0.325 pitch chain and you're reading your bar, it'll tell you all this information that you need to know. So on here, if we clean this up, let's see if we can get how much of it we can get off of this that you can actually read. But this is going to tell us the pitch of your chain and the length. So this one here says it's an 18-inch bar. You can kind of figure that out of there. Let's see. There's a 0.325. I don't know how well you can read that. That's all your pitch on your chain, how it's configured. And this one here says it's 68 teeth chain. So all those figures are what you need to find if you go in to buy something. So if I'm going to go look at, say, an organ chain at my local store, I'm going to know that this, I'm going to look up something that's a 16 or an 18-inch bar with 68 teeth. And the way you can figure that out is you simply count your teeth. And that is, your teeth are counted by these. So if you were to start right here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way around until you get back to here, there would be 68 teeth in this particular chain. That's going to tell you that. So you'd match that up, and then you'd also see on your thing that 0.325, that would be listed on your package. And I don't have that package here to show you that one actually, but it will say that. Those are the three numbers you really need to match up when you buy your chain. So that'll get you your right chain. And then you'll make sure that your chain, that's matching your chain with your bar. And then when you come to your sprocket should also have those numbers on there someplace. Some of them do, some of them don't. But if in your existing saw, you should be able to look at it and tell. So what we got to do for this Stihl is we got to pop this little clip here off. And watch out, because this is an E-clip. Take a little screwdriver and stick it in there, but watch it. This thing will take off on you and you will lose it. It simply pops off of there. Like I said, keep an eye on it because it will go. Okay, so then this part of it, it just comes on off. And there's your sprocket. Now, when you put your chain into the sprocket, that chain should sit in each of these gears. Let's see if I can get this in here enough to see it. So this should be able to wrap right around your sprocket and fit down into it the whole way. And you can clearly see it does not. And it's going to bind, it's going to tear your chain up, it's going to tear your sprocket up. This is definitely the incorrect sprocket. So when you take this apart, usually you'll be able to count your teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This particular one has 6 teeth that they put on there. What should have been taken off of there was one similar to this one. This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you look on here, this is a Stihl. And on here it tells us it's a 325, so we know that it matches your chains. So this one, when we set the chain into it, you can clearly see that that follows all the way around. It sits down into your teeth perfectly. Everything looks good and clean there. That's going to roll and let your chain fall. That's the correct sprocket. So you always got to match those numbers up, or at least count your teeth are going to get you pretty close to it. Now this is a used one I had around. I pulled off of there, so I'm going to go ahead and put them a brand new one on there. Seems like looks like that's what they were after to start out with, so we'll set that one off to the side and we'll go to this one. So we went ahead and purchased us a new sprocket for them, and within this sprocket assembly that we've got, they've given us all kinds of new parts and pieces here. I don't know, we can maybe get you a part number here. This is the one I bought, X002NU6MM1. I don't know if that's the only number that's generally on that or not, but that's the one I purchased. We can open this on back up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look in here. The sprocket comes with the new clutch, which we don't necessarily need. This one here looks like it's probably perfectly fine. This one here should fit down onto that, and it will. It also comes with a new, this one here actually comes with a new little clip, so when you lose the last one, you have one to replace it. It comes with a new washer, and it also comes with this little spring right here. Now this, I don't know, let's take this out of here. I'm not going to replace all this because the one that's in there is plenty good, but I did want to show you this. One, you've got a new bearing, and that new bearing would go right here, but I think they just put this one on. That's a brand new bearing. Like I say, that was perfectly fine. They just didn't match the teeth up. All this is perfectly good. The teeth are all good. They're all in there. The springs look good. But and I don't know if you can actually see in here. Let's see if I can get a light on that. I don't know if you're really going to be able to tell exactly where that's at here. Let's see if I can find it. Make sure it is in there. Maybe I don't see it in there. Is it missing? Oh, it might be. I might have tore that up. I might have to take this off anyways to see if, oh no, there it is. Okay, we found it. It was sitting right on top of the hose. Okay, if you look in here, buried down in here, right straight down in, you'll see, if you run your screwdriver in there, I don't know, like I say, if you can see that or not. I'll try to maybe get in here to give you a little better shot. Let's see. Anyways, it's straight down in there. Like I said, I don't know if you can really see it at about that point right there. But anyways, so that spring is this spring here. And what this does is this is what drives your oil pump for oil in your chain. So what you'll want is this is sitting underneath your clutch down in here, and then this cover going over top of it, if you're looking at it, will have a little notch in it. This is for Stihl. Now not all of them do that, but your Stihls do. And so with that sitting there, that little notch has to line up with this spring. And that spring is what turns this little gear here, which actually turns your gear pump in behind here to oil your bar for you. So it'll be sitting in here, actually, just like that. So it'll sit in here and be able to catch just the tip of that to run your gear. So when you put this back together, you do want to make sure that that lines up with that little pin when you set it down on there. So that'll go on there. We want to go ahead and put just a little bit of grease on this bearing again. Make sure she's greased up before we put all this back together. So let me just get a little touch of grease. Let's see here, which one did I have? This one here, I guess. Yeah, that's all new. So we'll just grease that a little bit. Just give it some lubrication to get her started. And we'll slide that back on there, like so. And then we'll go ahead and put our new clutch on there, lining that up so it'll fit right on top of that pin. And then it should set right down on that if we get it just right. There we go. It's set on there, and then we'll take us a washer and it goes on. And then we'll take our little E-clip and we'll take that and set that in place. And it should be a little groove. It should line right up. And here again, just kind of keep your fingers close, but not too close. And I usually just take a little pair of needle nose pliers and pop it right back on place. All right, so that's got that. It's spinning good, free. And we'll put the rest of this parts away for another day. I'll run across the need for those. And won't have to search again. And one of those. Like I say, we don't have to use everything if the parts are good, so we'll set these together. And generally, these don't go bad anyways. It's the sprocket itself that goes bad. 99% of the time, your clutch is and all inside is perfectly fine. All right, so then we put the bar on. Now your bar, your bars can go either way. Don't pay attention to, a lot of them will have names or whatever on there. They are designed to fit the bar or the chain either direction. Make sure this is lubricated or moving. Some of your bars, this one's been overheated a bit. But make sure some of them even have lubrication points in here to keep this sprocket. But if you're running oil and you've got the right amount of bar oil in there, that should keep it lubricated anyways. This bar is getting kind of shot. You see it's kind of built in there a little bit. So we're going to put this side down on it. It's a little bit better. It's wore a little bit. I'm going to say probably the next go around it'll need a new bar. But next thing we need to do is when we put our chain on, which continuously going to get messed up. And they get into a configuration like this extremely easy. And try to get them out sometimes it's quite challenging. All right, so now we want to make sure that our teeth, the sharp part of our teeth, of course, are going that direction on the bottom of the bar. So this one's upside down. So we'll sit the chain in there like that. And we'll go ahead and put it on the bar. And once it gets on the bar, we can slide it over this and set it on top. And you can see how much better this fits on that. What we'll do from there is set our cover back on. And our nut. And we'll just loosely put this on just enough to keep it in place. And then in here we'll adjust this, and you'll want to tighten this on up, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so as you get it in here, this should spin freely, and it should fall right into tracks. And when you get it tight enough, you should be able to pull this up, and you're going to tighten down probably a little more when we put that nut on there, but you basically can, I guess the rule I've always heard is when you pull it down like that, you should be able to see two teeth just below the bar. If you get more than that, you need to tighten it up a little bit more. So that's about where we want it, I think. We'll tighten it down. Sometimes this will kind of snug it down and make it a little bit tighter. So I start out a hair loose. And a brand new chain will definitely stretch. So you're going to have to do it. And that's about what we've got. It's two of them there. And then this, as you can see, moves freely. So we're good to go on this. That's all it needed is a new sprocket, and we're good to go. We can call that a finished product. Hopefully that'll kind of help you out when you go to search for a chain and a bar, teach you how to figure out which one you need. So that's really all we have. Like I say, if your bar, some of them don't have the numbers and stuff on there, you're really going to have to count on checking your chain, make sure it fits your sprocket, make sure this end's good and tight and it's riding before you try using your saw. So that's got it. I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll try to clear them on up. Don't know of anything else I need to say about it. So appreciate you checking out the channel, and hurry on back, check it out the next one, and we'll talk to you then. hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate the inputs.